The highly anticipated Braves vs. Phillies matchup has certainly lived up to the hype, with fans throwing things on the field, players going off on the media and each other, fans stealing the opponent's celebration, and even players screaming at their coaches and other fans. The Atlanta Braves were considered to be one of the best teams in the MLB going into the 2023 season. They solidified their dominance throughout the regular season, winning 104 games and finishing with the best record out of all 30 teams. They started out hot in April and never looked back in the division, winning it by 14 games. The second place Phillies also had a great season, however. After a disappointing end to their special 2022 campaign where the Phillies lost in the World Series to the Houston Astros, they had high expectations coming into the 2023 season. After an offseason where they signed one of the best shortstops in the league in Trea Turner, things were looking good once again for the Phillies. The hype would slowly start to go away for the Phillies, though, after they went just 25-30 through the team's first 55 games. After these disappointing first 2 months, the Phillies turned it on and found themselves sitting comfortably in the first National League wildcard spot. They easily beat the Miami Marlins, and it was on to Atlanta where they'd face the Braves. And before I get into the actual series, go check that subscribe button and make sure it's not red, because if it's red, that means it's broken, and the only way to fix it is by pressing it, so do it. Also, like the video too if you enjoy at any point. Game 1 started out like any normal playoff game would, until all hell broke loose late in the game. The offense, tied for the greatest season in MLB history, got shut out at home for the first time in the entire season. Pitchers screamed at their coaches and fans threw trash on the field. The ace of the Braves staff, Spencer Strider, was having a good game, but his pitch count was high, so he was taken out. He didn't think that was the right decision, as he argued with his pitching coach, pleading to stay in the game. Unfortunately for him, his wish was not granted and he was lifted from the game. Once he was taken out, the relief pitcher loaded the bases and the umpire said JT Realmuto hit the catcher's glove for catcher's interference. The Braves challenged this and lost, which made Braves fans lose their mind, throwing everything they could find onto the field. The Braves ended up losing 3-0 and being shut out at home for the first time all season. With the Braves now down 1-0 in the series, it was needed for the Braves to win the second game of the series so that they wouldn't be going down 2-0 going back to Philly. But sadly for Atlanta, they were down early once again. However, this time they wouldn't be held down, with a defensive miscue by Trea Turner allowing the Braves to break through and finally score their first run after 15 innings. Then they remembered how fun it was to score, so they did it twice more with a 2-run home run from Travis d'Arnaud. In the next inning, the Braves decided to take their first lead of the series on a dramatic go-ahead home run from Austin Riley. However, even with that clutch homer, there was still a lot more action to go on with this game. A leadoff walk from Bryce Harper proved that the Phillies were not going to go down without a fight. After a fast out from Realmuto, one of the single most chaotic plays in MLB history occurred. Nick Castellanos hit a ball out to center field, where Michael Harris caught it and threw it in. Harper had ran too far and was racing back to the bag. Harris's throw was offline, but Austin Riley was backing up the throw and threw across the diamond to Matt Olson to end the game, sending Truist Park into a frenzy. Fans and players. So much that Braves shortstop Orlando Arcia started talking trash about Bryce Harper in the dugout, saying, "Atta Boy Harper, atta boy." Arcia was mocking him and making one of the biggest mistakes of his career in the process. After an off day and a flight to Philly, it was time for Game 3, and Harper and his teammates clearly heard the quotes from Arcia. Harper wore a shirt with Coach Prime on it, basically saying that he was taking the quotes from the Braves shortstop personally. Philly fans had also clearly heard the quotes, bringing signs mocking Arcia and his playoff stats so far in the series. When Arcia had his first at-bat, he got booed, where he proceeded to strike out on 3 pitches. In his second at-bat, he got booed, where he proceeded to strike out on 3 pitches. The Braves, however, managed to jump out to a 1-0 lead, which wouldn't last long as Castellanos tied up the game with a solo blast of his own. And that set the stage for none other than Bryce Harper himself, and he took advantage with an absolute moonshot to give the Phils the lead. After this, Phillies fans stole the Atlanta fight song and chop, and did it in mockery of the Braves fans. They would continue scoring to take a 6-1 lead that inning, and the score would remain there until the 5th inning, where Harper did it yet again. Both times Harper rounded the bases after homering, he stared down Arcia, and after the game, Harper had this to say about the stare down.
I mean, anytime anybody says something, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Did you enjoy staring him down?
Yeah, I mean, I stared right at him.
Harper clearly took the mocking as motivation and locked in even more than usual. The Phillies went on to hit 6 home runs in this game, breaking their postseason record for a single game. At the end of the game, Phillies fans were chanting, "We want Strider." And in the past, that hasn't always gone well, but maybe it'll work this time. After the game, multiple Braves players said that the quotes from Arica should not have left the clubhouse because it was simply clubhouse banter. Game 4 was the final game of the series, and with everything on the line for Atlanta, it was win or go home. But luckily, they had their ace on the hill in Spencer Strider. The Braves started out shaky, with Strider escaping jams in each of the first 3 innings, and then Austin Riley put them on the board first with a solo shot. The lead wouldn't last long though, as Nick Castellanos hit his 3rd home run in the last 2 games in the bottom of the same inning. Then, in the next inning, Trey Turner hit the 3rd solo shot of the game, giving the Phillies a 2-1 lead. And in the next inning, Nick Castellanos homered again, becoming the first player in postseason history to hit multiple home runs in back-to-back games. The MVP of the league, Ronald Acuna Jr., came up with the bases loaded and a chance to take the lead in the top of the 7th inning, but he flew out to the warning track. The Braves ended up losing the game and the series, but in the middle of the game, Phillies fans got in Arcia's head one more time while he gave a reaction. Comment your thoughts on the series, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more MLB content.